All right, what's up, y'all? Today we're going to be talking about all the basics of how to trade Forex. And the resource we're going to use for all the information we want to get will be babypips.com. And this is a really good free resource to use. And so I advise you go through the lessons, the trainings, and use the quizzes, right? So we're going to go to www. Oh my gosh, babypips.com. Horrible. As you can see, I have my own account, and this has a lot of different things. It has news so that you can be updated on what's happening with your favorite currency pairs. It has trading charts, different possibilities that are going to happen within the market. But what we're going to focus on is the education and the how to trade Forex section of their website. So they have the School of Pipsology, and it has a bunch of different things, and it also tracks your progress, which is super dope. It has preschool, which we're going to go through as a group. It has kindergarten. We're going to go through that. Elementary school, middle school, summer school, all the way up through undergraduate junior year, which is developing your trading plan and a bunch of different things. So right now we're going to get started and dive right into preschool, right to the what is Forex section. And you can see within the what is Forex section, there are five? Two, four, yeah, five different sections that we're going to go through and talk about. So this may end up being a little bit lengthy, and I'll break this into a bunch of different videos to make it a little bit easier to come back and take notes on. So what is Forex? What is Forex? Quite simply, it's a global financial market that allows one to trade currencies. And with this commentary, I'm going to just read through it, but it kind of gives you enough dialogue to really learn what you need to learn. So if you think one currency will be stronger versus the other and you end up correct, then you can make a profit. Once upon a time, before the global pandemic happened, people could actually get on airplanes and travel internationally. If you've ever traveled to another country, you usually had to find a currency exchange booth at the airport, then exchange the money you have in your wallet into the currency of the country you are visiting. You go up to the counter and notice the screen displaying different exchange rates for different currencies. An exchange rate, really big important thing, take note of this. An exchange rate is the relative price of two currencies from two different countries, right? So you find Japanese yen and you think to yourself, wow, my $1 is worth 100 Japanese yen and I have $10, I'm going to be rich. When you do this, you essentially participated in the Forex market, right? So if we go over here, we can look at, well, this is the Bitcoin versus the US dollar, but prime example of currency exchanges, here's the euro versus the US dollar, and you can see that the price of 1 euro is 1.08675 the price of a US dollar. So if I were to take $1 to or if I were to bring 1 euro to the US and try and exchange it, I would get $1 and about 9 cents instead of $1 of US money. So now moving on, what is Forex? The foreign exchange market, which is usually known as Forex or FX, is the world's largest financial market. The FX market is a global decentralized market where the world currencies change hands. Exchange rates change by the second, so the market is constantly in flux. Only a tiny percentage of currency transactions happen in the real economy involving internal trade and tourism, like the airport example above. Instead, most of the currency transactions that occur in the global foreign exchange market are bought and sold for speculative reasons. Currency traders, known as currency speculators, buy currencies hoping that they will be able to sell them at a higher price in the future. Right? So think about stocks. You buy low, sell high. That's exactly what it's saying. Compared to the measly $22.4 billion per day volume of the New York Stock Exchange, the foreign exchange market looks absolutely ginormous with a $6.6 trillion a day trade volume. That's trillion with a T, right? So you guys have to think about this. This is actually a really big amount of money that flows through the Forex market daily. So there's a lot of chances for you to make a lot of money, and there's a lot of opportunity. Let's take a moment to put this into perspective using monsters. The largest stock market in the world, the New York Stock Exchange, trades at a volume of $22.4 billion each day. If we used a monster to represent the New York Stock Exchange, it would look like this. Looks intimidating, looks like it will work out. Some may even find it sexy. You hear about the New York Stock Exchange in the news every day on CNBC, on Bloomberg, on BBC. Yeah, you could even hear about it at your local gym. The New York Stock Exchange is up today, blah, blah. When people talk about the market, they usually mean the stock market. So the New York Stock Exchange sounds big, it's loud, and it makes a lot of noise. But if you actually compare it to the Forex market, it will look like this, right? And so this is actually really, really big. This is something that I have to tell people all the time. I trade in the Forex market. I don't trade stocks. And every time people see the charts I'm messing with, they always are like, oh, stocks are down or stocks are up this week. And I just kind of like play it off and I'm like, yeah. And they don't understand this concept. And so this is actually something I'm probably about to drop on my Snapchat, my Instagram, my YouTube, something. Well, obviously it's going on YouTube. What am I saying? But anyways, I'm about to put this out somewhere so that people can actually take time to think and realize what the difference is. Like, this is the perfect comparison you need to know. All right. Ooh, the New York Stock Exchange looks so puny compared to the Forex market. It doesn't even stand a chance. Makes you wonder if the S in New York Stock Exchange stands for stock or scrawny. That was so corny. Check out the graph of the average daily trade volume of the Forex market, New York Stock Exchange, Tokyo Stock Exchange, and London Stock Exchange. There's a chart. The currency market is over 200 times bigger. It's huge, but hold your horses, there's a catch. That huge 6.6 trillion number covers the entire global foreign exchange market, but spot market, which is part of the currency markets that's relevant to most Forex traders, is smaller at about $2 trillion per day. And then if you just want to count the daily trading volume from retail traders, aka me, you, if you want to learn to trade, and everyone else, it's even smaller. It's very difficult to determine the exact size of the retail segment of the Forex market, but it's estimated to be around 3 to 5% of the overall daily Forex trading volumes, or around 200 to 300 billion, and probably less than that. So I mean, it's big, but it's not as big as it's hyped up to be. You feel me? But anyway, it still trumps the stock market by a lot. You feel me? And then also another key thing to like key in on is the market is open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week, only closing down during the weekend. But if you choose to trade not Forex, cryptocurrencies at the same time, you'll actually be able to trade 24/7, 7 days a week, no matter what, which is actually really cool. And that's why I actually have Bitcoin as something that I like to trade. So what is traded in Forex? The simple answer is money, more specifically currencies. Because you're not buying anything physical, Forex trading can be confusing, so we'll use a simple but imperfect analogy to help explain. The thing about buying a currency is buying a share in a particular country, kind of like buying shares in a company. So they're using a stock market reference, so it makes it a little bit easier so you can think about it. The price of the currency is usually a direct reflection of the market's opinion on the currency and the future health of its respective economy. In Forex trading, when you buy, say, the Japanese yen, you're basically buying a share in the Japanese economy. You're betting the Japanese economy is doing well and will get even better as time goes on. Once you sell those shares back into the market, hopefully you will end up with a profit. So, major currencies. While there are potentially lots of currencies you can trade, as a new Forex trader, you will probably start trading with the major currencies. And so it has a list of them: the Canadian dollar, US dollar, the Great British Pound, Euro, yada yada. There's a few more. They're called majors because they're the most heavily traded currencies and represent some of the world's largest economies. Forex traders differ on what they consider major currencies. The uptight ones who probably got straight A's and followed all the rules as children probably consider the USD, the Euro, Japanese pound or Japanese yen, Great British Pound, and the CHF as major currencies. Then they label the Australian dollar, New Zealand dollar, Canadian dollars as commodity currencies. For us rebels, and to keep things simple, we'll consider all the 8 currencies as majors. Below, we'll list them by their symbol, country, and where they're used to, currency names, and cool names. So here's a little list. Big thing to key in on. Currency symbols always have 3 letters, where the 2 letters identify the name of the country and the third identifies the name of the country's currency, usually the first letter of the currency's name. And so, yeah, pretty much New Zealand, country name, dollar, simple. Honestly, so I think at this point it's been a good enough amount of time that we've gone over things, so this can be one good video, and I'll continue these lessons until I get all of them done so that we can really get through everything and have a good time. So, yeah.